Okay, off to part 2. Now, I want to start creating the top portion of this deck lid, so I'm going to go into Activate, select my point cloud, and I'm just going to simply say swap. You'll notice that the portion that I was looking at earlier is now gone, and this portion up above is now active. So as I look at this, I really want to start breaking this down into usable functional bits. Let's go to the XY plane. Let me zoom in on my top view. And as I look at this, I can see that I have a logical break here. All right, I can probably get one big surface, nice, pretty surface coming in, and then another surface coming out. Try not to capture the inflection in one surface. It's sometimes it can create like erroneous geometry or do some pretty nasty things. So what I want to try to do is I want to try to create a nice slab through this big area. Now we'll see what ends up happening. I may have to actually split this into two to get the performance that I want, or I may be able to get it all in one. So that being said, I'm going to zoom in on top, and I'm going to do another polygonal trap, and I'm just going to pick this area. Let's see here. I'll go something like this. And bring this point down. And I want the inside, select OK. Alright, now I'm going to do what I did before with a curve, because it's really pretty helpful in that sense. It's really pretty helpful. Now, there's a couple ways that I can go about getting that curve, right? You saw me earlier draw one, but here I have these nice defined edges. Off of these nice defined edges, I can come in, and we have all sorts of tools within a digitized shape editor. This one specifically is called free edges, and I'll say distinct curve creation. And with that, I don't want smoothing, I'm just going to say interpolation. And split angle, I'll just say is 5 degrees. Basically what that split angle tells me is that it's going to anything that's greater than a 5-degree discrepancy of tangency, it's going to make a separate new curve. So as you can see, I'm going to end up with a whole bunch of curves down over here. Well, I have a nice long sweeping curve here. Maybe I can up this a bit and reduce the amount of curves that are generating. And as you can see, as I go higher and higher and higher, I'm losing these additional curves. This is just indicating to me where those breaks would occur. Okay, so get to there. I'll just simply say apply and OK. So here are my curves. Let me go ahead and hide my point cloud for just a minute. And these are just no good, right? These are just the edges of a faceted body that I can just simply get rid of. Don't really need those. And that leaves me with this guy and this guy right over here. So we know that those curves are basically generated off of that edge, and that's a fairly clean edge. So what I like to do is I want to take those curves and I'm just going to clean this up. Now I'm going to go into, let's go here, we'll go into Freestyle. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use Generative Shape Design. I like the project here. I think it's a little better than the one in Freestyle. I want to project this onto my ZX plane. Select OK. Now I can hide this. And now that I have my curve there, I'll go back into my Freestyle. I'm going to throw my porks on this curve and take a look at it. As you can see, turn off automatic. Let me increase this. It's not the prettiest curve in the whole wide world. It's got a lot of bumps and ridges. So I want to smooth this out a little bit. I'm just going to simply select OK, and then I'm going to go into the converter wizard. Let's see, there you are, Converter Wizard. I'm going to pick my curve. I'm going to go to Tolerance, Orders, and Segmentation. So for my orders, I'm going to go, we'll go to 5. We'll try single segment. We'll go Auto Apply. If I leave it there, you'll notice that I'm going to get a deviation of almost 4 mils. It's kind of high. I don't like that. So I'm going to go ahead and increase my order a little bit more, and now you can see it's just down to 1 mil. Now if I take a look here at this, where is my deviation occurring? Okay, we have an area down there that deviation is occurring in. We have a little deviation occurring down here. So I'm going to select OK. I'm going to generate this curve. I'm going to throw my porks on it. I'll just double click on the original, throw my porks on it, and you can see that it's wavy, but it's not bumpy. And what this allows me to do now is I can go to my control points, I can select that curve, and as you can see, those control points are absolutely whacked out. So I'm just going to tell this to go to mesh lines, and what I want to do is I want to clean this up, and I want a nice smooth curve. Let me change my attenuation. There we go. Bring this in, bring this up and over, and I'm just going to smooth this out a little bit. So that curve that I drew in got me pretty close. So this is just another quick way. Now this works okay here in this context. The thing is you may not be able to easily generate the curve that you need just drawing something out in freehand. And with this method, it allows you to go in and generate a curve nice and quickly. As you saw, it was really, really quick. And with that being said, let me go ahead and hide my porks for now. With that being said, I can now just simply manipulate this curve the way that I need to manipulate it to get it really, really close. Now, the two options that I'm going to use mostly for manipulation are going to be along mesh lines and normals here. And so this allows me to quickly manipulate and get things to where I need those to be. So there you have one curve, and I'm just going to do a distance analysis. I want to go from this curve to this projection, and you can see I'm about 1 mil off, pretty close. So let me go back into my control points, pick my curve, and I'm going to reduce the segment count or the order on this a little bit. Okay, that's not bad. 5th, okay, not too bad. So now I may be able to manipulate this, get this pretty close. Let's do, there we go. Okay, getting there, getting there, getting there. Swing it around the other direction. And we'll go to normal, pull this out. And just like that, I am pretty dang close. Okay, this is where the attenuation button is going to come in really handy. And I can start moving this and tweaking this to get the range that I want. And you can see, the lectures are I'm taking a little bit more time making sure you can see my pokes and picks and all the things that I'm doing. And so I'm going a little bit slower. And as you can see, I get a relatively clean curve pretty much within almost 1/4 of a mil. Now as I look at the shape, is this the desired shape? Right, so this is one of those areas where you may go to the stylist and say, hey, listen, this is the shape of that middle curve or midline plane or along the middle plane of the vehicle, and say, what if I'm allowed to deviate a little bit more? If I'm allowed to deviate a little bit more, I may be able to clean this shape up a little bit. Okay, and this is where they may say, all right, well, go ahead and clean it up. There we go. And just because you have it on spot on doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. Remember, you're working with data that's been scanned off of a clay model. That clay model has errors on it from the tool marks, just simple little tool marks. So this is where you'd go in there and you'd start cleaning this up a bit. Let's go here, playing around, and there we go. Alright, so this is where you may have the stylist come and sit with you and play around with it. Maybe they want a perfect ramp acceleration coming up, and if that's the case, then you're going to have to grab this point and start dragging this point and these points somewhere in the middle to get the shape that the stylist actually wants. Okay, so that's where having the stylist readily available, working with that person, and getting the desired shape is absolutely critical. Okay, now let me select OK, and I'll just leave this, it's close enough. Okay, when I get that curve, I basically follow the same steps that I did last time. I'm going to do my extrude, this guy, out in that direction. You'll notice that I can't go in both directions at once. I'll select OK. I'll do my extrapolate, or I'm sorry, extend this out. Let me shrink this a little bit. There we go. And then do my distance analysis, that surface to that. Actually, let me reverse those. And then now that I have my distance analysis, I'll go in there and do my control points, and I will up these control points, and then for this one I'll just simply say normal, grab this, and I can start pulling. Let me bring back my attenuation to full, go like this, bring that up, and start manipulating those control points. And as you can see, with a quickness, I'm already just at 10 mils off from the desired shape that I need. Alright, so there I am, 7. And just pulling and tweaking until I get, let's go here. And now the balance of the work is just manipulating my control points. Oops, probably should do that. Manipulating my control points to get the two sides balanced. Let me do this, just give this a little nudge. Give this a little nudge. Give that a little nudge. There we go. And then in almost no time at all, you can see I'm less than 6 mils out over here, and I could just continue to tweak this. There I am, less than 4 mils out. And then again, you'd go back and forth, analyze the styling. I'd come in here, and let me go ahead and hide this distance analysis because that's maybe confusing to some. So I'm already less than 4 mils out. Here I am in lecture with a few minutes of talking your ear off, and with that short amount of time you can see, oops, let me go in the other direction. I have a relatively clean surface that has the highlights, general highlights that I want. And then once I have that surface cleaned up and sweetened up, we go in and we generate that little inflection surface over here, which I'll do in my next video. So I hope you enjoyed. And please feel free to ask questions, and let me know if you want to see anything more, or any more specifics, and we'll go from there. Thanks.